let's move to new business. The first item on the agenda is voting the POA lots. I'd like to have a motion to discuss that topic.
I'll make the motion. Motion with read. Excuse me. I'll make the motion. And the motion would be that the board of directors will not vote the lots in affirmative action at the next assessment election.
Second. Okay, discussion, please.
Yeah, I know we've looked at an option of voting a percentage of the votes to not sway the vote, but to help create a quorum if the next assessment vote doesn't have a quorum. And we've also discussed a third option, not part of this motion, but related to the same topic, that as in the past votes, we voted for, these votes were cast for the 600 lots to both assist the positive result and to help with the quorum. And my only concern in regards to not voting or voting proportional, my concern is I've got a good feeling because we've had good community input regarding the latest attempt at an assessment vote. And we've gotten good ideas from people, and we will develop more of those during the spring. And I've got a feeling that when we go out and present this assessment concept to the community next year, that we may get 55–60% in favor, and we spent $38,000, but we won't achieve a quorum if we don't vote these 600 lots that amount to 2.5–3% of the total to meet a quorum. If we get 55% for it and we miss the quorum, then we've kind of wasted $38,000. So that's the other concept or the other opinion on it that I'm expressing.
Other discussion or concerns?
My concern is with the statement of what Jared said. As I heard him, I thought he was saying that we would not vote in favor of these lots in favor of the assessment. Rather than not voting the lots at all. And I think the option number one doesn't have anything to do with the direction of the vote, but simply the fact that we would not vote the lots either way.
That was my understanding that your proposal was we do not vote the lots at all. Is that correct?
So you have to amend your motion, Jerry?
In order to make it clear to everyone, the motion would be that we would not vote the lots at the next election for
Discussion is. Go ahead.
I need to clarify a little bit more. My personal feeling is that the assessment is needed. Okay, if we miss, I see people shaking their heads no and everything else. Okay, it's very obvious that we cannot continue to provide the services that we've been providing the last couple of years on the current amount of dollars that are available. Okay, the last assessment was 2001. Things have changed an awful lot in that amount of time. So we do need the assessment board, the amount of facilities, the maintenance levels and so on are going to deteriorate. Or we have to raise fees in order to make up for it. We don't want to raise fees. We want to actually, if we can, even reduce or eliminate. But we have to have some kind of balance somewhere or another. And I believe that as a person, we need that assessment. I don't like not voting the loss, because we may miss that quorum, but I think it's what we're hearing from the majority of people. And I'm not just saying the loudest negative detractors. We're hearing it from other places and so on, just that this time not vote the lots. And so therefore I make the motion to do so.
To continue the discussion, one other problem with that is we will have a turnover of board members, 3 or 4 new board members elected next May, and I really don't think it's plausible for this board to dictate something to the next board if this assessment vote doesn't happen during this term of this board. So perhaps your motion could be amended to say this board if it happens prior to May. I hate to tie down the next board because we'll have a pretty good turnover.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Any other comments?
Every board, though, takes on, I don't want to call it baggage, but I will call it baggage, from the previous board, so.
I began several years ago pushing for a vote of the board in favor of an assessment increase. The rationale that I gave at that point in time was that we would not be approving going forward with an assessment vote if we didn't think that was in the best interest of the community. And I still think that makes sense. However, I agree with what Jerry said. That is that we have heard from the community, and the community has said, do not vote those lots. I also think that that's not a good decision because if we don't make a quorum, it's going to cost us $38,000. And a number of people this evening spoke about fiscal responsibility. And I don't know how wise that is to not vote the lots according to the percentage of votes that are cast by the community. So I think we're damned if we do or we're damned if we don't. I think that the community has spoken. And yet at the same time, I think that the community hasn't given full thought to what they are asking us to do. I don't think the community has given us full thought that they want to spend an additional $38,000 if the quorum is not met. However,
Excuse me, please.
However, let me please speak.
We have closed open forum. Go ahead.
I think that the vote to not cast the lot, to cast a vote on the lots, is laid perfectly on the feet and on the arms of the people who are telling us not to vote. And so, if you're willing to take that risk, I would say go ahead with it. But you need to know that that is your vote. That is your position. And what you're asking us to do is assent to your decision. I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Comments, please.
You might also add to that, Pat, that if we don't meet quorum on the first vote, that within 90 days we can revisit the same,
At the
exact
cost.
same.
At the cost of another
Yeah,
$38,000.
and plus the quorum is cut in half
Yes,
at that point.
yes.
So
Right.
most likely we would meet quorum.
I have every confidence that we don't need those 600 odd lots to get a quorum in this next election. And I'll stand by that. That's my piece.
I too have been talking to a lot of members of the community, out and about, not any particular group. And what I find is people tell me, vote them, don't vote them, I don't care. Just get an assessment increase. Our assessment is ridiculous. So if we have to bow to some certain element and not vote the lots, which my personal feeling is that it is our responsibility to do everything in our power to get an assessment increase passed if we think that's the right thing to do. I will bow to the majority here tonight, and if the majority says do not vote the lots, I'll go that way. And like Pat says, we risk another $38,000, and we know where the liability for that will rest. It's not us being irresponsible.
Anything else before we take a vote?
Just one more comment. The sounding I get in the community from lots of friends and acquaintances is that the part of the assessment proposal that was the most onerous to the community was the $14 million community center that would have put us into debt. It wasn't necessarily $10 or $2. It was that got the uproar of the community, in my opinion. That's strictly my opinion from the feedback that I've got from a lot of people. And you can rest assured that the next proposal will have an alternative concept for Reardon Hall or community center, and it'll be a lesser amount that wouldn't put us in debt. And I have real strong confidence that the next proposal will be really well received by the community and as we go out and present it. So again, I know I'm in the minority vote here, but I want to express my comments.
This time, shall we call for the motion?
All in favor of the motion from Jerry?
That we will not vote the lots at this next assessment
This
election.
board will not vote the lots.
I also hold Mike as proxy, and he votes yes.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
We will not be voting lots for the next assessment